head full. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. It's Eagles talk high, let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat, Shell, and Dante, the dark child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby, let's get it on.
Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Hey guys, we have a lot to talk about. There was some hubbub being made about Carson Wentz being traded, and we found out before Super Bowl weekend, during Super Bowl weekend, that the trade was about to happen at any second. Stand by. I put my co-host on standby. Don't leave town. Don't go anywhere. Don't turn your phones off, because as soon as this transaction goes down, we're going live that day. Well, it's Thursday, and nothing is going down. Nothing is going down, but a lot of rumors and some hearsay of what is being offered. But I'm afraid that the window is closing. I don't know. They made it sound so dynamic, and that we were going to be getting a lot, and somebody was going to give us a Matt Stafford type deal, and here we are Thursday, and nothing's happened. I'm not hearing anything, and I'm thinking that his value is just not what they thought it may be in the open market. Well, we'll find out what you guys think. But without further ado, let me bring my co-host on, the Sandlin boy, Pat and Nichelle. Hi, how are you guys doing?
What's going on?
What up?
All right, so that's the surprise right there. You see the lower third, even though it's covering Nichelle's face. She has her own lower third. Look, let me boom. Boom. There she is. Look at that. Look at that. She has her own lower third. All right, look, guys. I don't even want to get into the conversation until we start full-fledged. So let's get this quarter started first.
You're now listening to the first quarter.
All right, so we need this part of the program right now, because we definitely need this part of the program, because this dumpster fire is not going down. I mean, it's not burning itself out. It's almost like they're throwing fuel on the fire every so often to keep this dumpster fire raging, and that's what it seems like to me now. So let's start this first quarter. If you are new to Eagles Talk, you need to understand one thing, that this is the type of situations why we drink. We drink because our team is on fire, and they are burning down. I don't know what's going to happen with this franchise, but we need this. We need these adult beverages. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. This week, I am doing the Silver Patron, the tequila, and I'm gonna chase it with a pickle shot. I like that every so often. I know we do pickleback shots with Irish whiskey, but I like the pickle juice so much. I do it with anything. So anyway, I'm doing the Silver Patron. Pat, what are you doing?
I'm back on the Terramata.
He's on the Terramata. He's doing the tequila also. And Nichelle, what are you doing?
Captain Morgan.
She got the Captain Morgan. All right, so here we go. Let's start this discussion. Everybody out there, join us. Let me know what you are drinking out there. All right, so here we go. Down the hatch to our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1. Woo. All right, let's check out who's the first person in the room tonight. You guys, our fourth co-hosts, are everyone that's in the room. Thank you for tuning in and letting me know what's on your mind. First one in the room tonight was Richard Boo. What's up, Eagles family? What's up, Richard? Kevin Crawford was second. He says, here we go. Yes, here we go. Sheldon Morris was third. He says, Temple Bay Buccaneers. Yes, let me give a shout out to our co-host right here, Nichelle, who chose the Temple Bay Buccaneers over the Andy Reid-led Kansas City Chiefs, and it was a good choice. Congratulations to all the former Temple alumni. Everyone that had a piece in celebrating that. It was a great thing to see such a colorful coaching staff be celebrated on such a high level, the highest level in the game. Maybe maybe that'll get somebody's attention out there.
Let's hope. And can I just say that let's give credit where credit's due, and it's to that coaching staff. Yes, Brady was a great final piece to the puzzle, but I'm kind of sick and tired of the coaches of Temple Bay, not getting their due.
Oh, they getting their due, man. They are getting their due.
Too many people on these internet streets that want to make it seem like Brady was just given carte blanche. He didn't even hit his stride in working with their system until almost close to the playoffs, and they made the run when they needed to make the run. So yeah, let's give credit where it's due, and that's for these coaches putting this team together. Todd Bowles put out a monster defense. There was nothing they could do with him. Even yes, he was missing 2 tackles. Mahomes was missing 2 tackles, but still, he had the rest of his weapons. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't even score a touchdown. So give credit where it's due. And let's leave this old Brady wagon alone. He wasn't the only one that made this Super Bowl happen.
No, he was not.
Todd Bowles should have been the MVP of that.
Oh my
He should have been the first coach. He should have been the first coach ever to win MVP. The way he put
Andy Reid
defense
called
together.
it out. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, come on. He set down 3 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks in succession there too.
Yeah, he did.
Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then Mahomes.
Say it again.
And that's no small feat. I mean, he made them look pedestrian. I mean, and these 2 of those guys were competing for MVPs of the league. Aaron Rodgers, 3 interceptions. Mahomes, I know his O-line was better, but what are you supposed to do when they have a weakness? You're supposed to exploit it, and that's exactly what Todd Bowles and his crew did. They exploited the weakness, and they made Patrick Mahomes look pedestrian. Hey, look, even in his pedestrian-looking self, this guy was making the most spectacular throwaways I ever seen him. I mean, he's throwing it underhand.
He
was trying everything.
No, hey, listen, he threw the ball. He's sideways. He's parallel to the ground, throwing the ball on a dart to his receiver. Hit him in the face mask.
Knocking people out.
It's a stat out there. It's a stat out there that Mahomes ran a total of almost 500 total yards. It was like 490 something yards that he ran in the Super Bowl.
He was running for his life.
Running for his life.
He couldn't do everything. He couldn't run, catch, throw, and block. Come on now.
Sounds but I'm not going.
It was, I was pretty toasted, but it was funny, man. He was parallel to the ground, and he was throwing darts, hitting his own players in the head. Like, yo, he's amazing. But again, congratulations. And I hate to say it because I don't like Tom Brady too much, but he's tied in with these other people that I really do like Bruce Arians and Bowles and then the rest of the crew.
You're not
Godwin.
gonna find any other Temple crew with Brady love. It's
That's
tolerance
weird.
and acceptance.
That's weird.
That's
No, let's get off of this. Let's get off of this.
So.
Well, no, that was the hot game. It's okay
It was
to
a hot
acknowledge
game.
the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. Look at him.
Because the next topic, isn't that exciting.
I know. Yeah. So we got to get our happy time now.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Look. All right. So Super Bowl weekend, it was announced that Carson Wentz will be traded very, very soon. That's what the report said. Very, very soon. And they said the leading candidates or teams were Chicago and Indianapolis, which makes sense. Although there's some more teams out there that would probably benefit from having a change of quarterbacks and probably could do worse than Carson Wentz. But so this report comes out, it's about to go down. And this comes on the heels of they weren't even uttering the trade word. They weren't even entertaining that. They were kind of had us baffled because we didn't know what they were doing with the quarterbacks. And then all of a sudden we get this report that they're fielding inquiries about Carson Wentz, and they have 2 suitors. So I'm expecting this to go down at any time. Like I told you guys, we text, chatted, and I told you guys to be on alert because if this goes down, we're going live that day. And it sounded like it was any minute. And here we are Thursday, and nothing has gone down. Nothing has gone down. We haven't even heard a sniff of another team that may be in the mix, which leads me to believe I don't know. I'm just taking what I'm hearing and I'm putting together myself. And I don't know if the offers are as lucrative as they thought or as they were over the weekend. I don't know if his value is as high as it was because I was kind of surprised to hear. I was surprised and then I wasn't surprised. I was kind of surprised to hear that it was such a buzz. I thought Carlson, when he's playing at his best, I think he's a very valuable quarterback. But to hear that much interest in him after the year he had, and after the reports that have been floating around, it kind of surprised me a little bit that the interest was that high, and that at the time it sounded like the Eagles are going to get a number one and some other things for him. And here we are Thursday, and nothing has still gone down. My take on it, I don't know. Maybe those other guys have took a step back and looked at the situation. Maybe he's not as attractive as he might have been over the weekend. I don't know. Maybe they're playing the game. Maybe they're playing a negotiating game. Maybe they just took a step back because they know the Eagles' hands are tied. What are they going to do? What are the Eagles going to do if these guys step back? I mean, they're not going to give Carson Wentz away. And at this point, the Eagles have to get rid of him. Can you imagine? Can you bring Carson Wentz back after all that? I mean, I'm talking enough. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of this whole situation? Starting with ladies first. What do you think, Nichelle? What's going on with the Eagles?
I think it's a hot damn mess. We look so dysfunctional right now as an organization. The rumor mill has been swirling about Carson leaving for what, 6 to 8 weeks now? You just from a public relations perspective, you can't go through this and think each day he's losing value. And I said that, what, 1-2 shows ago?
Mhm.
All this swirling around, maybe they don't want to take on our baggage. Maybe they feel as though this whole situation is a little bit toxic, but I don't think we're going to fare well in this. I think we're going to have to make some concessions if we are to get rid of him. But if he's to stay for another year, it's still going to be a team full of dysfunction. You heard about, Jalen Hurts organizing workouts with some of the receivers. You don't hear that about Carson. We haven't heard anything from Carson. And that's also part of the problem. So the longer he stays silent, the rumor mill keeps going. And it's just, I feel like we're on this whole, circle joke of a roller coaster trying to figure out what's going to happen next with Carson. And it's really not a good look for our organization. We don't look like a professional football team right now. We don't, in terms of management. We look silly.
We do not. We do not. I agree with that. What's your take on it, Pat?
Well, rumors. Rumors are terrible. Rumors are terrible things because what happens is, random Joe Nobodies from the sideline who has about 2,500 followers on Twitter puts out a statement. Then everybody runs with that statement. When GMs don't really say much, yes, agents, they might put something out there. They might, have a media guy. They might say this, they might say that. But GMs don't typically, tip their hands to what they're doing. So when I saw the report about the Bears offering, Tariq Cohen, our first round, Nick Foles, I'm looking at him like, why would they do such a thing? Why would the Bears actually announce that they're going to do this? Now the players is calling the GM like, am I getting traded? Carson, I don't know, people saying Carson's not saying anything, but the thing about it, when you don't deny reports, I mean, you're just as liable as the rumors that's going around you. The best thing that you can do is come out there and say, you know what, I love the Philadelphia Eagle organization. I'm an Eagle until I'm not. That's all you had to say. You don't have to say anything else than that.
Right.
But by you not saying anything is speaking volumes to, first of all, your character, to about the rumors about how you are in the locker room. And if your backup quarterback right now is doing the media runs like he was doing prior to the Super Bowl, and now is going out there that he's taking the young receivers to Texas to throw around. So that the report that you had with some of these guys is going out the window because they have a feeling that you're going to be gone. If I was a betting man. Well, if it's a betting man, I don't think the Bears offer was true. I think the coach has a solid offer on the table that may be up closer to the draft time, and that's when it may be pulled. Like that trigger may be pulled by closer to the draft time than it is right now. But I don't think you can bring Carson back with all these rumors, all this dysfunction, and just like you said, Michelle, this organization is nothing but a dysfunctional organization. It's been dysfunction. It's been terrible since. I'm not saying it's a terrible organization, but it's been ran poorly since Jeffrey Lurie took over.
Now you're going too far. Now you're
I'm
going
gonna be
far.
honest.
I think it's Howie. Howie was one of the number one trending topics on Twitter over the weekend.
Yeah, he's terrible.
But he was the one that everybody else should have stayed and Howie should have left.
But wasn't this Jeffrey Lurie's doing? Jeffrey Lurie has the ability to fire and hire whoever he wants, and he's been doing that since he came in, since he brought this organization in the 90s, right? He always was able to bring in some bright coaches, so their coaches will have a solid defense, but they're missing key players on offense. So when they went out there and got key players on offense, or they have a hot offense and their defense sucks. Just like when they had, the number one defense, but they can't get no wide receivers for Donovan McNabb. Then they finally get some receivers, Deshaun Jackson, Macklin. They have no defensive backs. They have no linebackers. They got a defensive front. Now they still have no secondary. Like, it's always something with this organization. And as a owner, you should see that these guys that you put in these positions as a GM, as president, they're not doing their job. They haven't been doing their job since you took over. You need somebody that is just innovative, that can come out there and say, you know what, we need to have playmakers on both sides of the ball. These key positions, they need these guys. And if you don't do that, you end up with situations like we are in right now. 3 years after we won a Super Bowl, and we're arguing about how bad the organization is as a whole. The GM is terrible. The head coach is fired. The quarterback needs to go. We just won a freaking Super Bowl 3 years ago, and we're this bad. We're this bad right now. It's a trickle down effect right now.
Well, I don't doubt that. Nobody can look at this organization right now and doubt that we are horrible right now, and we are in a place of dysfunction. But I would not go as far as to say it's been since Jeffrey Lurie started. I mean, come on. I mean, we were coming off a bad ownership before Jeffrey Lurie, and he hired one of the first minority coaches on his first hire. His second hire was probably a Hall of Fame coach. Definitely going down in the Eagles Hall of Fame as one of the best coaches that coached for Eagles. With the Eagles, Andy Reid, and during that time, 5 NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl appearance. I mean, if you look at his resume, nobody likes this Jeffrey Lurie. The Jeffrey Lurie that we see now, that's reminiscent or resembling Jerry Jones. Nobody likes this Jeffrey Lurie. I admit that, and he gets that. He needs to take that blame. But I'm not going to hang that this franchise has been under a cloud since he's taken over. This franchise has been through one of the most successful runs of its existence under Jeffrey Lurie, and their only Super Bowl. I mean, he has that to put on his resume.
One Super Bowl.
How many?
I just think he gets too impatient.
He went to 2, and how many organizations have none? None.
How many head coaches?
Not even appearance
since he's been in. Let's count the coaches. Ray Rhodes, Andy Reid. Well, he inherited Ray Rhodes, right? Andy Reid.
He hired Ray Rhodes.
All right, so that's 3 coaches: Chip Kelly, Doug Peterson, and now Nick Sirianni. There's 5 head coaches, right? You have 1 Super Bowl in this whole ring that you've been owner. You're talking about you've been successful with 5 NFC championships. We were tired of going to NFC championships and losing. We were tired of seeing that team. That 04 team, they should have won the freaking game. Let's go back to 2001 when you decided to franchise Jeremiah Trotter and take the freaking tag off and let him walk out the door. Now you got to plug in bum guys like Barry Gardner. I don't mean to call him a bum. He played in the NFL. You plug in guys like Barry Gardner, Mike Sellum, whatever his name, Mark Saramoya. You put these guys in the middle, and they can't handle it. Like, You wasting the best shares of your defensive back slides. You had Lito Shepard, Sheldon Brown, Michael Lewis, Brian Dawkins with no middle linebacker. And it continues over and over and over. Go back to David Matt. We always say he had no weapons. His best weapons, when you got Terrell Owens, he paired great with Todd Pinkston and Freddie Mitchell. That was a great pairing. That offense ran. That offense was awesome. And Brian Westbrook was a weapon.
Yes, he was.
He was a weapon.
Who?
You give him these
Too?
weapons, and that
Stop.
team was
Brian.
outstanding. But now what happens? The guy just wants a little
So
bit more
you're
money.
blaming that on Jeffrey Lurie?
You're the owner. Take
You
ownership
should
in your
keep that-
team.
Keep that together.
You're the owner. You gotta take ownership in your team.
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree. I mean, what do you won 7? You won 7 Super
Do
Bowls.
you want me to continue running it down for you?
You won
So after that,
did you want 7 Super Bowls? What do you want? What do you want out of this? What did you want?
Yes, I
What
want
did you
7
want?
Super Bowls. I'm greedy.
I
All
wanted,
right?
I
I'm trying
wanted
to
like
see
2 or
Tom
3.
Brady,
I'm not
man.
like
All right, 2 or
I-
3. You
Yo,
got
with the
one.
talent that
I
we
think
had.
he had some consistency
Correct.
and some loyalty, like a Pittsburgh Steelers does. They keep their coaches, they keep their players. If they have down years, guess what? They work through it until they make it back there again. We don't do that. We give up so quick in this city, and it's not just
And it's not the
it's not
owner.
it's not just on the owner. The fans are always calling for blood, like you said. You
do.
wanted the
I mean,
Super
Pat's
Bowl.
calling for the bud now. He's telling
wanted the
me
NFC
that the most
championship.
successful owner
Probably
in
should
our
have kept Andy Reid and let him ride out his career here, but we
he
didn't
would
do
have
that.
never did it. He needed that jump start to go somewhere else. But we're
Or maybe
talking
he
about
just
the most
needed new
successful
personnel.
owner. We are trashing the most successful owner in our franchise's existence. We're trashing him.
I'm
We
trashing
not only
Howie.
did we
He's trashing.
all right, yeah, well,
Lurie.
everybody trashes Howard. But not only that, we fire our
I'm done trashing
only
Howie.
Super Bowl winning
Winning
coach.
right?
And here we go, and
Well,
and
who
we're
do you
going
blame
to
for
trade.
that? Who do you blame for that?
I can't. I'm not going to blame
what?
Jeffrey Lurie.
I am because the simple fact that you don't get this guy power from the get-go. You hired a defensive coach, defensive coordinator. He gave the defensive coordinator more power than you gave a freaking head coach. And now you turn around, you get rid of him, and you bring in this Nick Sirianni. I don't know how he's going to be as a coach, but you give him more power. This guy hasn't even been in the league that long. You give him more power than you gave your Super Bowl winning head coach. He has more power than Doug Peterson ever had.
Pat is
Well,
mad.
I don't. Pat is mad, but I don't understand if Pat
Mad.
his anger is well placed here. I don't know.
It's been placed
You
at
make
Howie.
me want to. Well, Howie, I can't defend Howie. I'm not
I
going to
can't defend him
Howie.
either.
I'm
man.
not
I
gonna
don't want to
defend
talk about him. I
I
really don't want to
refuse
talk
to.
about him.
All right, so
But-
all right, that's the end of the first quarter. Let's start the second quarter before
And that's the end
rip
of
each other
the
apart
quarter.
here. See, but this is a staple of us as fans, like how quick we give up on. We're talking about 3 years removed from a Super Bowl, and already this franchise is the worst franchise in the history of franchises, and we just won a Super Bowl, our first Super Bowl in ever.
You know what?
First Super Bowl
We're not
in
the
3
worst.
years
Our
removed.
fall from grace though was so fast. Like
It
that's
was so
embarrassing.
fast.
That's
But you know what? I think
embarrassing.
it was that we all say, you know what? Give me this one Super Bowl, and I don't care if we suck for 20 years. I think we all said that at the same time.
Y'all said it, and then y'all said, "Man, psych." You know what I mean? Y'all went right back on it as soon as it was over. That's like it's like hugging the porcelain god. That night when you're hugging the porcelain god, Lord, please just let me make it through this night. I'll never drink this much again. I'll never do it again. I'll never do it. As soon as you make up, yo, where the party at? The next night. You know what I mean? So here we are. We sold our soul.
And
We got our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now we are turning on our franchise. And then, don't get me wrong, they deserve a lot of credit. Nobody's liking Howie right now. I still think he's a good contract guy. And I don't know why I'm saying that, because we're like $61 million over the salary cap. So how great was his negotiating then? We have a contract with a franchise quarterback that we're trying to move that's not very attractive to people who have to look at this contract. We're going to wind up eating most of it ourselves. So how smart was that to have a contract or a situation where we're stuck. We're stuck under Carson Wentz's contract. We're going to eat the largest amount of dead cap space ever in the history of salary caps because of negotiating at how he's done. So I guess I'm taking back all the good things that I was going to say about him because that's horrible. We got a year just to climb from under. We got a year that we have to just throw away just to climb from under the debt of the salary cap debt that we're in. So the next year, don't expect any big agent splashes, signings, or anything like that. We're not in that position. We're in a rebuild. We can't even throw money at potential free agents unless they're young guys, and then we can't even throw money at them. So we're in this. It's a rebuild. It's not going to be a year where it's going to be solved. Even if Carson Wentz is moving, I agree that he has to be moved. Even if he is moved, the transition to Jalen Hurts is nothing promised. He could not do much behind that offensive line. And I heard a caller on Sports Talk this week that made an excellent point. Mahomes, and we talked about this in the opening. Mahomes looks so pedestrian with his two tackles out of the game. He looked pedestrian when his offensive line was not giving him adequate protection. And he's a former MVP of this league, and he was the reigning Super Bowl MVP up until then, which makes me that just points out the fact that I don't care who you are. If you don't have an offensive line that can protect you, you're not going to look good. Yeah. You're not going to look good. And that was Carson Wentz last year. You could put Pat Mahomes behind that line. Yeah, Russell Wilson is now making a big stink about it. He wants out of Seattle. He's out because he can't get protection. So even with that, though, I still think Carson Wentz needs to leave. There's some other things that came up. His behavior in the locker room. I don't think that this locker room is going to give him the respect that he needs. And then good luck with him gaining that from whatever team decides to take a chance on him, because that's what it is. It's taking a chance on this guy, because the last we saw him, he was a shell of his former self, and it's with great reason, because he didn't have a lot of help in front of him. Didn't have a lot of help as far as talent-wise on the edges, in the receiver room and things like that. But even with that, I think it's time for him to move on and get himself together somewhere else. I don't think that this coaching staff is even capable of getting him back to where he needs to be. So with that being said, I think that it bodes well for both of us to just part ways now and start this rebuild. And with that being said, Jalen Hurts is not even safe. Because with the 6th pick in the draft, this team could turn around and decide to draft another quarterback. What do you guys think?
Come on. We already said we need D-backs. We need
I'm not gonna hold you up. It's enticing if you can trade both Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts and get some draft capital, like first-round draft picks for these guys.
Let me go to some comments.
Let's take this shot.
We're not getting rid of both of them. We're just leaving us out on the win like that.
Hey, Mike, if we're doing a rebuild,
you think we can do a trade with Seattle?
No,
because we need someone young. We're in a rebuild. Russell Wilson is not going to do anything for us.
Russell Wilson and CC in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I take him. I would take Russell Wilson, but I don't know. We got to put some young talent around him. They said it was a rebuild. I'm going to take them at their word. All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. Somebody smart mouth person in the room earlier was saying, "Do these guys even know what they're talking?" We know. Yeah, we know as much as you, punk. All right, so anyway, here we go. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So join us as we continue to talk about this mess that our team is in and how do we find our way out of it. I am partaking in the Patron, Silver Patron, my partner, Terranova Tequila by Dwayne Rock Johnson, who has a new series out. And Nichelle is doing the Captain Morgan. So join us. Let me know what you're doing out there as we salute our Philadelphia Eagles and pray and pray that they find their way out of this thing. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, down the hatch.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
Can you throw up Walter's comment? I really
Uh,
think that needs to be said. And I've said this before about
What is it?
Carson and
Whose
his
comment?
mental.
Walter Brown. The
Walter
most-
Brown.
I got
Which
you.
one? You get it.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
agree with that.
Walter
I agree with
Brett said, really think Carson has mental issues. No matter how much talent you have, sports are 90% mental. Listen,
He has the physical talent. Don't
he
get it
he has
twisted.
the arm. We saw it in
All
the
of that.
pre-draft. We saw it
Playmaking.
after the draft. He has the ability to get out the pocket, make plays out the pocket. He's one of the best quarterbacks outside the pocket, and he can, scramble.
Yeah,
But
up
with the
until this
injuries,
season, his highlights were crazy.
but with the injuries, that's something to takes a toll on the human body. Like, let's be honest, you had a tore up knee, you had a broken
Broke
back,
back.
you had a broke rib, you had a concussion, and this is all within a 5-year span. And you're fighting this off. You're fighting this off year after year after year after year, and that gets to a young guy. It is mental. Football is mental. Like, if you're out there really thinking, then you're not playing.
And
I mean,
he faced adversity in a very youthful period of his career.
mhm.
So he's not even at the place where he would have the maturity to deal with that. You know what I mean? And I see
Mhm.
people talking about Nick Foles. I'm
No, we
not
don't need
saying
that.
bring back Nick Foles, but Nick Foles had the maturity to deal with the adversity, whether he was starting or not. There was just a level of maturity that, he played the way he played, but he never really got in his head about it. You know what I mean? Whether he played
Yeah.
good or played bad. But you can tell by the way Carson just has not been speaking up. I would just love for him to say something, like you said earlier, Pat, to just kind of put this to rest, because we're going to be in limbo
Mhm.
until they figure out what he does. And what if he does stay? Then we're going to be on
Wow.
eggshells with this man
Well, the thing
for an
He
is,
can't
entire
stay.
season.
Carson
Nobody.
has the
But what if
Carson
nobody wants to take him? What are
Carson
we gonna
has
do?
the
What we
he
gonna
does
do?
he does have the ability to be a top tier quarterback. He has the ability to be top tier quarterback. Just like Walter said, it is mental, but he's out there thinking too much, entirely too much, because he is shell shocked. He
Mhm.
doesn't have trust in his receivers. He doesn't have trust in his offensive line. And that leads to failure. That leads to failure. When you don't have that trust there, you can't succeed in this league. You can't succeed in any league, regardless. You can't succeed in high school. You can't succeed in college, semi-pro, arena football, Canadian football, lingerie football, Australian football. If you don't have trust with your teammates, you are not going to be successful.
Well, everybody's talking about this mental thing. I think it's physical. Nobody's talking about it's physical. It's physical with Carson. Is Carson working out enough to be able to lift that big ass head he
No,
has?
man.
Is
He's
he
like Mike
working out?
Tyson.
His head
He
is too
broke
big.
his
His
back.
head is too big. That's what's going on here. We got a Carson that is in the locker room refusing to call the plays that his head coach is sending in. That means his head is this big. So
Well, I
is
think
he?
he's having a
Is he?
tantrum, and he has a level of privilege, and he's having a tantrum. That's what I think.
Yes, that's nobody's talking about the physicality. His head is too damn big and he's got to go. They created a monster here when they allowed him to do all the things that he's done up until this point here. To the point that he played the power move. He got Grow out of here. So his man, Press Taylor, could be continue to be his quarterback's coach.
Mhm.
Well, he's going now. I think they are tired of Carson Wentz's BS, and he has to go. And
He's a
I'm
diva.
okay with that.
He's a
He's a
diva.
diva. He's
But
a
you know what?
diva.
Donna. It's prima donna, Keith. He said prima donna.
Yeah.
But you know what the thing is? The staff that's in place right now, the staff prima donna. the staff they have in place right now, they don't know Carson Wentz. So if we do keep Carson Wentz, they're gonna coach Carson Wentz up like he's just a rookie, like he's an everyday Joe. Even though he has a big contract, he could be the starter. I have a feeling that this coach staff, especially with Brian Johnson as the quarterback coach, is going to dig into Carson's ass and say, you know what? If you can't get your mechanics right, if I'm teaching you the fundamentals and you want to change it up, you're going to sit your ass on the bench and be the highest paid backup ever. I think these guys, besides the head coach, I think the staff that was assembled for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they are a couple hard nosed young bucks. Yes, because we're all around the same age. We all around the same age, right? I think, but there's some hard nosed young bucks, and you know when you have a quarterback coach who have a track record of making quarterbacks better every time he puts their hands on them, if you don't come out of this with a draft pick with Carson and he's still here, if he's not able to function with this guy, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta trim the fat and get rid of him.
And let's be frank here. This guy has no experience with being a quarterback whisperer of any kind. We have him working with quarterbacks, but whether he was a quarterback whisperer, no, he's far from that. He's just a brilliant. A lot of people say he's a brilliant mind. They do question whether he's ready for this position. I'm talking about Sirianni now, and if he's ready right now. But they do give him credit for being a brilliant mind, up and comer. But he has no experience at being
He doesn't.
at developing quarterbacks or anything like that.
I want to
Must
answer this
be
one
nice. Where's
question.
Eric Bieniemy at? You know, where's the
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
people?
I want
Where's
to answer
Todd
this one
Bowles
question
at? Can you
about
imagine?
BJ King asked, how was Brian Johnson as a college quarterback? He led Utah. He led Utah to their highest ranking, and they won the Fiesta Bowl. They should have been in the at that time they was doing the college BCS. They should have been in the college BCS. They were 13-0. They were 13-0. Year before that, you know, he led them. He led them to a I think it was a 12-1 record. He was a pretty doggone good quarterback. He was on the cover of college football.
All right, let's get to that. See, we're fans. We're lay fans. Let's get right
NCAA
down
football.
to
He was on that
all you
game
need
cover.
to know. He was on the cover
He's
of
a
the
good quarterback, man.
NCAA football game. That's all you need to know. Okay, so when you picked up the football game, that he made the cover of that. You
Yeah.
have to be good to make the cover
Yeah.
of that. And that's like the college football version of Madden. You know what it is. If you play
Mhm.
video games, you know what it is.
I
And
love
he
it.
was
I
on
can't
the
wait
cover
till it
of that.
come back.
So he was that guy on the cover. So he was a pretty good college coach. But again, I mean, pretty good college player. But again, he has no. I mean, he does have on his resume working with some pretty good college quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But
He
again,
turned
none of these guys.
Dak Prescott beat Alabama. He
Yeah.
turned Trask, who is the Florida quarterback, into a Heisman candidate. I think Trask came in like second place this year. He has developed some outstanding talent. Like he was with Oklahoma, I think, when they had not Kyle Murray, who's the guy from Cleveland? Baker Mayfield. So he has a good resume when it comes to being a quarterback coach.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here's Gwen. Gwen has a long statement, but she is mad. I wish you were all quarterbacks on the NFL team paid to be a franchise quarterback. Watch a backup win the Super Bowl. Then a quarterback is drafted in the second round, coming in, messing up your groove with dumb, obvious wildcat plays and being blamed for a depleted, broken down offense. Y'all give up too easy. Explains why Eagles fans have such bad reps.
You
Yeah,
know what? If that doesn't make you
you're
work
right,
harder,
Glenn.
if
Did
that
you
doesn't
hear
make
what
you
my
work
And
what my
harder,
nobody blamed
co-host
it
said?
all on
that's
Wentz anyway.
competition.
Yeah,
You're a
we didn't blame it
competitor.
all on Wentz. I talked about the
Yeah.
O line. I talked about the play calling just to find out that he wasn't running the plays that were called.
Yeah, he definitely changed the plays up.
Yeah, see, and
Despite
I
the
have
strict
to,
head coach.
All
I have
year,
to, I have
I
to
trashed up
apologize.
Peterson about the play calling. All year, I gave
Yes,
Carson the benefits of the doubt because
yes.
of not having a good O line and that kind of stuff and having bad plays and not being put in the right position. He was not mature enough, like I said earlier, to handle the adversity that was thrown at him. Yes, I know that had to be a blow to his psyche to have the backup win the Super Bowl and then then to get concussed in the playoffs the following year when you're like, oh, I might make it back this time on my own. And then get a concussion and then have the dude have to come in and back you up again. I get that. I get that. But that his reaction, how you stand up against adversity is a problem for me at this point. You're not speaking, you're not taking ownership, you're not even advocating for yourself right now. At the very least, be mad and say they're screwing me over. At the very least, speak up and advocate for yourself. He's not even doing that.
It's nothing that he can say to me. I'm sorry.
He's not even doing
And let
much.
me take this moment right here
Being a
to
punk
just
right now.
issue an apology to one Alshon Jeffrey. Let me do that, because how about Alshon Jeffrey called this a
He
couple
told
years ago, and we wanted to crucify him, me being one of them, as
him.
being a snitch and a punk and not this, and he don't like, and he's just being a diva. Well, guess what? His reports wind up being the truth. Whether he handled it in the way that you thought he should handle it, maybe you would have done it differently, but he wasn't telling any lies. We have a diva quarterback, and
Yeah.
and,
You
and
know
this
what?
is who he is. I mean, this guy he didn't even have the sense or the maturity. Even if you're having a spout with the head coach, he didn't even have the decency to give him a farewell message going out the door. I mean,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, he helped you win
That's
a Super
that's no
Bowl
character.
ring, a
He actually
Super
got
Bowl
you.
ring there.
He
You
got you
guys share a
drafted.
moment in life that'll
Yeah.
never be forgotten. You couldn't say one good thing as he walked out the door. That was horrible. And now you're not saying anything else. I'm just about done with this guy.
Mhm.
I really am. I don't see it how you bring this guy back, and I see in hindsight, looking back, how they were trying to maybe work this um, with no one endorsing Carlson, but no one throwing him under the bus either, because I think they always had plans that they might want to move him, but they also understood that if they're not successful, he might have to come back here. So they
But you
couldn't
gotta
say too much. But
And I
now,
gotta
can't make
understand
with all
something.
that's being
for a
done, I
coward.
don't think
I'm
that you can
sorry.
bring him back now. I don't
Yeah,
think.
Yeah, I can't
Wentz,
make
Wentz,
excuses
Wentz had
for
this
a coward.
organization. He has had this talent in the palm of his hand, right? Let me end
Mhm.
the score real quick when I say this statement.
And that's the end of the quarter.
Even after his injury, right? Even after his injury, we were so down on the team. We were so happy when they won. And this is think of, the MVP to be was coming back next year, and his team was going to be even better than it was the previous year. He had this team, he had this season, he had this league, he had this city in the palm of his hand. But for some odd reason, it's taking a left turn. It goes down to the work ethic. All right, I understand that you get injured quite often, but you're not putting in the work that's necessary. That's why they had the skill to play
Mhm.
the game plan back on you. In 2017, they kept saying we can give Carson 3 plays. He get to choose which one is open. They had to scale it back this year because, first of all, you can't. It goes back to one statement. His mental toughness was gone. His way to comprehend, to think outside the box wasn't there. He couldn't break down a defense. He couldn't break down a defense. If you can't see the running back wide open in front of your eyes, you're 6'5", right? Your center is 6'3". He's blocking nobody. It's a lane this wide. If you can't see that running back wide open in front of your eyes because you're so fixated on something, then your progression as a quarterback is nowhere near the top of the elite quarterbacks that we see.
They
Just
said
look
his
at Tom.
mechanics
Just
are
look,
off. That
just look
they
at
didn't
Tom
know
Brady.
that.
I hate to bring these guys up. Look at Tom Brady. Look, Patrick Mahomes. Even Drew Brees, right? Drew Brees' arm strength is gone, right? You look at downfield, but he knows that Alvin Kamara is coming around from the left side on the slant. He's going to hit him on the slant. That's almost automatic. Carson Wentz used to have that. He doesn't have that no more. And the thing about it is, I'll be ecstatic if I was able to lead my team to a 11-2 record, home playoff win. Even though I got injured, we won a Super Bowl. I'll be ecstatic about my teammates. I'll be so happy. Great, cool, bang, bang. I'll be on my hard horse trying to work for next season, not pushing myself too much. I will understand that I have a great backup in front of me. Nick Foles is a great backup in this league, probably the best backup in the NFL history, period, with all his accolades, right? I would understand that, but I'll still work my butt off. For some reason, that fell by the wayside. That fell by the
Yeah,
wayside.
I thought we were going to get another Super Bowl under Carson. So I don't
Mm.
want to hear that we didn't believe in Carson. I thought
No,
that was
we
going to
definitely believe
motivate
in him.
him to be like, all right, now I got to get my own.
Mhm.
And it didn't manifest itself. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we
Some
did.
of that was personnel issues
Mhm.
for those two years after, and some of the
True.
injuries and things. But this year it was like I said, a huge fall from grace.
Mhm.
Yes, our O line was not what it needed to be. But those guys are getting healthy. And, I think what's it, Malata will have a little bit more experience under his belt. So I think our O line will be okay if we add in maybe one more player, or we could get somebody either from free agency or the later rounds of the draft. I'm not as concerned as about the O line as I was last season.
Yeah.
My real concern again are the D backs and we gave up way too many points
We
this
did.
season. We gave up way too many points. So I don't think it's going to be a matter of us not being able to score. Um, but yeah, we gotta tighten up our defense. And I really truly had believed that Carson was going to have a chip on his shoulder, but focus it enough to get back to that bowl game and make that ring his own. I didn't think it was going to implode like this.
No, Carson Wentz does not have the mental fortitude to play
No,
quarterback in Philadelphia. And for anyone who, and probably should shut my mouth because
go
I want
Bubba
someone
Wallace.
to, right, I want I want someone to give us a good give us a return for Carson Wentz. So I probably should shut my mouth. But anybody that's taking a chance on Carson Wentz is taking a chance on a mentally weak quarterback to me. Someone who didn't work on his fundamentals, superstars are people like I hate to bring up the name, but Tom Brady, who's 43 years old and still looking to improve his game at 43. That's the hunger. That's the dedication you have to have when you want to be a star in this league. He's 40. He's damn near 50 years old, and he's still out there working to be better. And you're 20 something, and you're telling the coach when he wants to run a play that you screwed up, no, we don't have to do that. No, there's no need for that. That's the difference. That's the difference in processing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want a guy like that. I want a guy that's going to be trying to be better every year. I want a guy that when they draft somebody in the second round, that's not going to be pouting, but that's going to go out there like Jordan and show him that this is my bitch that's coming in here because he's going to hold the clipboard while I'm out there kicking ass. I need somebody with that mentality, not somebody that's going to curl up under the covers in a fetal position and be like, oh my God, they took a quarterback. He's coming for my job. I want somebody, I thought that was arrogant of him, but I kind of liked it. But when we won the Super Bowl in 2017, you can hear Carson Wentz at the parade saying, that's going to be me next year. That's going to be me next year. I need that kind of
I
quarterback.
believe that. But
I
he
did
didn't
too.
deliver. That's what I said. I truly had believed he was going to take us back. And what you're saying, Dante, is you want somebody that's coachable. As much as I'm not a Brady fan, if you watch Bruce Arians' interview on Jimmy Kimmel, he talked about the fact that when Brady was coming there, he sold him. Brady was selling Bruce Arians on him coming as much as Bruce. He's like, he actually told me how much he knew about our personnel. And we talked about, instead of me having to train 21 guys to fit in your system, it's easier for me to just train you to fit in our system. And Brady said, coach me up, coach. Tom Brady
At
said, coach me
43.
up.
At 43.
If he can say coach me up, why can't Wentz be coachable?
I think Wentz. I'm gonna be honest with you. I already said this a long time ago. I don't know what quarter we are in because we've been in overtime. We didn't take our shot yet, but I think Wentz. I've been.
Oh,
a
no.
Wentz
Yeah,
fan.
it's time for the fourth quarter. All right, come on. Let's do this shot here.
Yeah.
Let's start. All right, so you
me do
are
the fourth
watching
quarter.
Eagles Talk by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. Yes, we get drunk, and these are the times where you need to get drunk over the Philadelphia Eagles because they have us in a. I mean, I can't sleep, man.
I can't
I'm
sleep,
I'm
baby.
serious. I can't sleep
I
because I'm
can't
rolling
eat,
over. I'm waiting for this
baby.
news to come down that Carson Wentz has been traded, and we got 5 number ones for him and all that. But it's not gonna. It doesn't seem that it's going to
I
happen
had
like
to
that.
I gotta hit
turn
you with
it
this.
off.
Oh
I got tired of
no!
hearing
We
it.
suck again.
I wish I had the noise. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, so we like to
Wow.
talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I am doing the Silver Patron Oh, I'm pouring. Look, I'm pouring in the wrong cup. All right, so yeah, so that's what happens around here. So anyway, I'm doing the Silver Patrol, and Pat is doing the Terramata.
I got two
Tequila
shots.
by The Rock.
I
And
got two shots because Shell is can't drink out there in Utah, so I'm gonna do one more shot for him, brother.
It says every alcoholic out there. It's like, no,
Yep.
can't say it.
Yep.
and the Shell is doing the Captain Morgan. So join us as we continue this conversation into the fourth quarter to our Philadelphia Eagles down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, so this is the fourth quarter. I'm going to go to some comments to open up.
Go to Andrew. Ooh, that would hurt.
Let me just, can I share? Oh, here's a spoiler. Hurts gets traded because they can't trade Carson Wentz. Oh, that would be stupid.
Yeah, he has no value right now. I mean, you're not going to get a third round pick for Hurts. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was a GM or a president of a club right now, I'm looking at his trade value is nowhere. Like I'm not giving up anything less than a third round pick for Jalen Hurts, and therefore you're not going to get your value out of that quarterback.
All right, I don't think Jalen Hurts is going anywhere. I don't know if Carson Wentz is going anywhere after this is taking as long as it's taking.
It's going to be a shit show.
It may be. You may be right.
We might as well just look forward to the shit
Welcome
show.
to the fourth quarter, this show.
Because look, think about it. I mean, logically, think about it. With things stalling the way they are, and if there is only two teams that's in this bidding war, so to speak, imagine if either one of them wake up and realize that the Eagles are in a situation where, although they can bring Wentz back, it's not the optimal situation for them. So you can bluff them right now. You can sit back and say, you know what? They're not going to just cut this guy for $32 million, a cap hit. So we could just wait. We could just wait these guys out. And then they're going to give them up for less than what we have to give up.
Listen,
I think that's what people are looking at.
I'm trading Zach Ertz, Carson Wentz. They're buddy. They work good together when they're functioning correctly. I'll trade those two because we already know that Ertz is not going to be back this year. To Denver. I'll trade him right to Denver. Get that ninth pick.
It's like Gronk is to Brady. That's his dude.
Exactly. So
But you're not getting two number ones, Wayne. I'm sorry. I'm
getting one. I'm gonna give me a number one. I'm gonna get their ninth overall pick, and I'm gonna get like the fourth or the fifth round pick. That's fine. That means I can get my.
You may not get that number one without throwing in Hurts now. You think about that?
Well,
you may not get that number one without throwing in Hurts.
Dillard. How about Andre Dillard? Get rid of Andre Dillard too. You got three guys.
Have him.
So you're gonna get him. Wentz. I'm trying to be a guru right now. I'm doing my Sherman impression. Give out Wentz, Ertz, Andre Dillard for Denver's first, which is ninth overall, in their third round pick. All right, just take them. You take the whole contract. Boom.
I'm with Andrew. I'm tired of the speculation. I don't even know if I'm going to listen to any more Eagles news until the day I get the alert that says, it actually happened. Because we've been in this speculation roller coaster for how long? I want to get off this ride.
Yeah.
It's like the Ferris wheel. You stuck at the top. Like, come on.
Yeah. I want to get off. I'm tired.
All right. This has been floating around on Sports Talk today, especially, but they've been asking people. So now, if Wentz is traded, do you root for Wentz when he's going to the new team, or
I told him I like Wentz.
I want him to be successful. I don't want him not.
I don't want him to win championships.
He got mouths to feed. It's not like I don't want him not to be successful.
Well, I'm gonna root against him until I see something different. I'm rooting against him.
But if we play him, you better bust that ass.
Yeah, you definitely. But I'm to the point where, like, now that his true colors has been exposed, I need to see him. I need to see a turnaround before I can get behind him again. I'm not for the bullshit. I'm for real. I'm just not. When I find out your true colors, I just can't ride with you. I couldn't ride with Shady. After I found out what Shady was about, I couldn't ride with Shady no more. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am. And now that I know who Wentz is, and this guy's a creep, man. I mean,
I gotta ask
the
you a
shit he was
question.
doing, man. I
I gotta
can't
ask you a
ride with
question.
that.
I gotta ask you
Dante
a question.
said he is not beat for the bullshit.
I'm not for the bullshit. I'm
It's
serious. I'm talking.
shady. It's shady. A Hall of Famer.
He don't even play in the Super Bowl and get rings.
Wait,
And
wait, wait,
I-
wait,
it's
wait, wait,
He
shady
doesn't
wait,
play. He
wait,
somewhere.
got
wait,
2 Super Bowl rings, and he
wait,
didn't
wait,
play
wait.
one down in either one of them.
Wait, you gotta understand
Brilliant.
something before you get up far. Do you know his stats?
Yeah. Oh, I was there
Yeah,
for
he's
his
the
party
leading
when he led when
So
he
the
broke some of those
Eagles,
records.
but
Yeah.
that's not good
I
enough.
he has 1,200. He had 1,200 yards rushing. He has
12,000.
I'm sorry, 12,000 yards rushing. He has 90 touchdowns, 90 rushing touchdowns or total touchdowns. And he has 2 Super Bowls.
the Snowball's going to put
Nope.
him in the Hall of
The
Fame.
Super Bowl's
I
gonna
That's
think
get him in,
that's
the
and
that's
his
Snowball
Hall of
alone
Fame
behavior is
should
worthy.
not
put him
gonna
in the
give.
Hall of
His
Fame.
character is not gonna get him in, and
Right.
He may
those
have to wait, but
statistics
he's
are
going to be in the
meager.
Hall of Fame. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Man, he's
He's
gonna be in the
not
Hall of
going
Fame.
to. Nah,
He is. He is.
Yes.
You just mad at him, but he's going to be in the
he's
Hall of
not
Fame.
getting
A
in.
lot of running backs that get over 10,000 yards, they go to
They
where?
go to the
A
Hall.
hall.
Nah, he ain't going. He is not going. I'm telling you. I'll be surprised.
All right, I have a
And
question for you. I have a question for y'all. Besides the shady question. All right, you're the GM. They finally said how we move you to the back. All you gotta do is worry about contracts. We got a new GM. We got Dante, the Dark Knight Johnson.
it's
We got
about
Nichelle.
goddamn time. I
We
like
got
to thank my mama. I like to thank my dad. I like to thank Matt and Shell. I learned a lot on this show just by being beside them. So I like to thank them. It's about damn time they got somebody in the building that know what they're doing. And this is what I would
All
say
right.
at the press conference too.
Yes, you would say that. You would definitely say that. In the show. So they got y'all as GM, right? In the next 5 days, you have to come up with either a trade package or you have to come up with a better plan to either trade Carson Wentz or keep Carson Wentz and trade another player again and get another high draft pick. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yes.
I'm gonna come up with a decent trade package.
Okay,
Because
off the top right now, I need it.
it's irreparable. I definitely would let him go somewhere where it hurts, and
Okay.
you know, throwing something else maybe to sweeten the pot. But yeah, you gotta stop this roller coaster of media because we're going to stay in speculation mode forever until somebody says something. Or the opposite of that, if I'm the GM, I'm sitting everybody down, having Carson make a statement and get, yeah, and nipping some of this in the bud. You know, a lot of the folks in the comments are talking about the fans believe in this. Well, we don't have any other information but what the national
What they're
NFL
reporting.
reporters
Yeah.
and the local reporters are saying. We have zero information from the organization. We have zero information from the players. We have zero information from anyone in that front office about what's actually happened. They keep avoiding. Look, they did the 52 fake out with Doug. Doug's our coach. Next thing you know, Doug was fired.
Hold on, man.
Oh,
First of all, don't be selling me cheap. Hold on. I'm calling
All right,
Jeffrey
GM
right now.
Dark Knight.
Hold on.
GM
I'm
Dark
calling.
Knight. What you going
I'm
to do?
the GM.
Hold up. Let me get
I'm
Jeff.
at least getting a communication together. Like,
Jeff.
There you go. I like that.
Like,
I like
come on,
that.
like, 'cause
Michelle, I
this
Yeah.
like that. That
just
communication is
no.
it's serious. You got to
No, I'm on
you
the
over there.
line right now. I'm on
Look
the
at
air.
him. Look, how you
All
do
right.
it? Oh, I got
So
to do
look,
this way. Look at
I
him.
need some concrete right now. Because nobody believing this. Nobody's believing this bullshit that y'all want to move Carson and all this. I need something concrete right now. I'm on the air right now.
Nothing.
Right
Nothing.
now. Okay. All right.
Uh,
All right. Okay. I'll tell the people that. That was just Jeffrey Lurie. And he says none of y'all goddamn business. Wait to see what happens. What happens going to happen. So you just have to wait and see, just like everybody else. Because Jeffrey said, "Look, man, I own this team, and I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do with my billions of dollars." That's what he basically told me, and we cool. So I said, "All right, Jeff, I hear you. I'll see you at the cipher on Friday. You know, I'll
But
see him on."
you can't
man.
leave things up to speculation for
That's
this
true.
length of time. So because it's so much time has gone by, you're starting to lose your fan base. If you can't put a good product out on the field, people already calling for blood for Howie. You know what I mean? Like he becomes a trending topic nationally that he has to go. Like you have to get in front of this. And each day that goes on that we're speculating about what's happening with this team is more days that by the time we get out of pandemic mode, people ain't gonna want to spend their money to buy tickets for that mess.
No,
Yeah.
we're not. I'm not.
Like, come
I
on.
don't. I'm not. I'm the first person that will stop spending my money when I don't think the product on the field or the court or whatever
buy
is not up
tickets.
to my standards. I will stop.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like I said, I like Carson Wentz. I'm a fan of Carson Wentz, but I'm a bigger fan of the name on the front of the jersey. It would say Philadelphia. It would say Eagles. So
EAGL.
I'm an Eagles fan. It doesn't matter what's the name on the back. I've been a Randall Cunningham fan, a Rodney Peete fan, a Donovan McNabb fan, a Mike Vick fan, a Jeff Garcia fan, a Ty Depner fan, Corey Depner fan, Bobby Hoying fan. You know, I've been those type. I've been a fan all my life of these quarterbacks. But I've been a bigger fan of this team, and whatever this team does moving forward, we will rock out with them. We will talk. We might be upset about them behind the scenes, but we're gonna try to speak as much positive, as much positive into them as much as possible. But you know what? If they put a product on the field that we can get behind, that's all I want. I want a product on the field that we can get behind as fans and say, you know what, this is my team. My team is doing the doggone thing.
Well,
Talk
I'll
about
tell you this.
loyalty. Let's talk about the loyalty of our team. Our front office isn't loyal to players. Why did we let Reggie White go? I'm still mad about that.
Yeah.
You
Why
mad
did
about Reggie?
Reggie
I'm
White-
mad
why-
about Brian Dawkins and Jeremiah
why-
Trotter.
I'm going back before that. How come Reggie White didn't retire here? How come Brian Dawkins didn't retire here? How come Jeremiah Trotter didn't retire
don't
here?
do
How
that.
many people do we have to go down the line that this organization wasn't loyal to? If the organization isn't loyal, you can't expect the fan base to be loyal.
No,
You know
all
what you
right,
just
so
did?
I think she's
Michelle,
talking
you just
to.
did what I did in the first quarter. You just did what
Yeah,
I did
you
in the first
did
quarter
go
about
off 'cause-
organization. Yes,
'cause
I rubbed
Pat-
off on you.
Not ever. Pat not ever talks bad about the Eagles. He's that guy, that kumbaya guy that's like to keep the positive vibes flowing when it comes to this team. So for me to hear him open this show with the rant that he did against Jeffrey Lurie was a lot. But I think
know what?
she's
It's
talking to
true,
the
though.
comment that Gwendolyn has on the screen right now. Some of you ain't loyal to players. One bad year, you throw them away. That's you new generation fans. Don't know Jack. And I think that I see that you are mostly tied to Carson Wentz, and I understand. I was too. Me and Nichelle was probably his biggest supporters throughout all this year. With everything being said, we came up with the most reasons why he was having this bad year, and it wasn't his fault alone. But when you peel back the layers and you see some of what was going on in the background, you can't help but admit your fault.
Yep,
You know what I
yep.
mean? It happened. I mean, this guy
Yeah.
was, you
Yeah.
know, I was blaming Doug wholeheartedly for
He sure
some
was.
horrible play
Yes, you
calling,
was.
and then I find out that it's because the quarterback is not
Changed the play.
calling
He
the plays.
audibled out.
He's
What?
audible out on purpose, and man, that says a lot, and that says a lot about Carson Wentz and how this season has been going. But it says a lot about his demeanor, his character, his mental makeup to even do that, to have the balls to do that. Then when the coach is fired, and we think it's for him, and to pander to him, he doesn't even call the coach. He doesn't even say anything.
No, thank you,
No,
Doug.
thank you, Doug, for giving me an opportunity. No, anything. This is the guy that he is, and if that's the guy he is, then we are right in moving on from him. I do think that he can be repaired, but it's not going to be a matter of who he
$100
goes
million
to.
man, right?
It's going to start with Carson Wentz himself. If
Yes.
Carson Wentz himself cannot look in the mirror and realize there's a lot of work that he needs to do on himself, his image, and his ability to play football. It all depends upon him. So although I think that he's repairable, I don't think that the coaches that he's going possibly could be going to, like Frank Reich in Indianapolis or John DeFilippo down in Chicago. Forget those guys on the other end. It's going to come down to Carson Wentz because you can send them off to these guys, and these guys were probably responsible for him having a near MVP season in 2017. But you can send him to either one of those guys, and if he doesn't see that he needs to put in the work and he needs to listen, then nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to be different than what happened here with the Eagles. And I don't think that he could be repaired here. I don't think we have the coaching staff, and I think there needs to be a separation. So there you have it. I'm done with Carson Wentz, man. I wish him the best, but I hope that we get as much as we can get back for him in return. Don't leave out the door and we get a 4th round pick. I don't want a 4th round pick.
You gotta do it like this. I'm done on Carson Wentz, and that's the bottom line because the Dark Knight said so.
All right, some comments out there. Isaac Ware says, like I said, while Carson is quiet, Hurts is getting together with the wide receivers to work out.
Yeah.
Last time Wentz did that, we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, he's right about that.
Carson's out there shooting ducks in Jersey.
Bill says Carson ain't going anywhere. Watch. That would be something else, man. If he doesn't go anywhere. Ooh, how do they navigate that? If he doesn't go anywhere and he has to come back here, how do they navigate that? How do you sit Carson Wentz in the lap of this new young quarterback?
You got to make it work. You got to make it. Got to be a competition. Then how he has to be a true GM is come to Carson and say, listen, we're going to either fix up the contract that you have, or we're going to release you. You got to either be man enough to say, you know what, he's going to be a bitch about it and we have to cut him, or negotiate his contract and let him be here. Let him compete. He has to compete. He's going to have to compete.
All right. Christopher Burton says, I don't wish Carson the best for Carson. I hope he stumps his
Andrew been killing us all show. Andrew been killing us Eagle fans all show, man. He been saying that, y'all like Dallas Cowboys fans. What fan base are you, Andrew?
Are you a Cowboy fan?
I'm sorry, Dante.
No, he says 5 years of us being a horrible team.
No, it's not going to be that long. We
I got you, Andrew.
We're never going to be that long. We're never going to go 5 to 7 years.
We're not going to beat the Browns.
We normally, actually, history says we bounce back. History under Jeff Lurie. History under Jeff Lurie says we bounce back pretty quickly after changing coaches. And normally when we change coaches, it's a bad situation going on. When we change coaches with Ray Rose, that was a horrible time. I think 1998, 1999, somewhere around there. We were bad.
We made the playoffs. No, when we got rid of Greg Lewis, we just came off a playoff year. No. Year before that, we was in playoffs.
Not Greg Lewis. I'm talking about Ray Rhodes.
Yeah, Ray Rose. Yeah.
Coming off Ray Rose 99, 98. It was not a good time right before Andy Reid
97, 98. That's when Andy Reid got hired.
Horrible time. But Andy Reid, that hire, we were back in contention within 2 years. When Andy Reid walked out the door and Chip Kelly came in, we were right to the playoffs the next year. When he came in his first year, he went to the playoffs. From Chip Kelly to Doug Peterson, not too much success in his first year, but we won the Super Bowl his second year. So we haven't had to wallow in mediocrity or the bottom of the league for very long when we've changed coaching regimes. And I hope that that's the case here now. I don't know. This roster has a lot of turnover yet to be done. There's a lot of recognizable faces that are not going to be here in 2021, 22. And you guys better be ready for it because this is a rebuild, and we can't continue to play these older players that are not going to be a part of our success going down the line. Because we're not looking to win in the next 2 years.
We can't do this.
These guys, we got to let some guys go.
We can't continue like the beginning of this year. We were looking for offensive guards to replace Brandon Brooks, and next thing you know, we're signing Jason Peters. We can't bring these guys back. We can't be like, you know what, Vinny Curry, you've been so supportive of this organization. You've been a diehard Eagles fan since you grew up. We need you back. No, we got it. We got to trim the fat. We need to move on for some of these guys. I love Corey Clement. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I think
Whoa. Now you need to stop right there. You need to
Pause.
stop it
All right,
right there. He's a
pause.
family friend. He's a
Maybe,
family friend.
maybe if he can
His
move the
dad
feedback.
let me wear the ring. His dad let me wear the ring.
All right, I go off
We
course.
not going there. We not going.
Richard Rodgers.
Steve, you did not hear that on my show, Steve. You did not hear that on our show.
I just said I love Corey. I didn't say anything about cutting him. I didn't say nothing about him. Did I say that? Nope. You didn't hear that in my mouth. All right.
We love Corey.
Nathan
we
Gary.
love Corey on Eagles
Friends
Talk.
with my god brother.
Yes, we support Corey.
Local.
We do support him. We do support him. He should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl. I said that before.
Yeah,
he should
been
definitely.
MVP, yeah.
Nick Foles. I love everything Nick Foles did, but without Corey doing what he did in that Super Bowl, I don't think we won a Super Bowl. I really don't think we won a Super Bowl.
All right, right quick. Let me ask you guys right here. So rumor was we might get Nick Foles back. How about that? If we can get a first round Nick Foles and Carson Wentz go around, would you take that?
To hold the clipboard, right?
Yeah, that's all he's going to do.
Listen,
he's going to back up Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is,
would you guys invite Nick Foles back as
I'm
a
gonna give you
backup?
this. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this whole scenario. I'm gonna give you everything that's going to happen. He's going to come here. He's going to back up Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts have one bad pass. The fan base that's able to sit in the stands going to be crying for Foles.
Don't put that out there.
They're going to put Foles in the game.
I'm gonna stop you. Don't even put that in the universe.
You know this is going to happen. They doing it. They was doing it when he was in Jacksonville. They was doing it when he was in Chicago. They going to do it if he's on the team. He could be the third string quarterback with nothing but street shoes on. They're going to say, you know what? He can still throw the ball. Put him in the game. You ain't got no pads on.
So that's too much pressure. Are you saying that's too much pressure for Jalen Hurts to take?
It's not pressure. It's not pressure.
It's
that you got the Foles fanboys here. Yeah, he has the mental toughness. He's cool with that.
We just have to listen to some of these, foolish fans that are still talking about Nick Foles. I didn't say Nick Foles didn't have a purpose.
Nick Foles will go to the Hall of Fame as a backup quarterback. He's going to be the first backup quarterback ever to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, I'll take him to back up Jalen Hurts. Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. But everybody else needs to pipe it down about thinking he's going to come in because he's not there anymore. He already hit his peak when he took us on that last run. We're not getting that out of Nick Foles anymore. We will have him manage some games if we have a hurt quarterback. We're not getting another Super Bowl out of Nick Foles. So stop with the pipe dreams. But he'd be a great quarterback. He'd be a great backup to Jalen as Jalen develops. And I think they have good personalities that they would mesh well.
They do. But
a great mentor. He'd be a great mentor to Jalen Hurts too.
But
I don't think
you got the fanboys that want him.
They
want him in the game. You got those fanboys fanboys and girls that want him in the game.
We're not listening to them anymore. We're not listening.
No, we can't. We've got to let. And unfortunately, like we talk, and I don't know if I'm at that point yet where I was at this point with Doug Peterson at the end of last year. I don't know if I'm there yet with Howie Roseman. But what I'm talking about is I was at the point where I was willing to sacrifice wins and playoff appearances just to change the coaching regime here because I felt that strongly about Doug Peterson not being able to do the job. And as we saw, it was a shit show. And he needed to leave, but it's some other people that need to leave now. Are you guys ready? Because you know what needs to happen for us to get rid of Howie Roseman. You know there has to be
terrible draft.
There has to be some terrible things that have to happen.
No,
in order for Howie to go. I mean, I don't want terrible.
Howie.
I don't want terrible things to happen, but let's be realistic. Howie is not going anywhere if they have a strong draft. He's not going anywhere if this team makes the playoffs next year. He's not going anywhere if they happen to make it deep in the playoffs. So in order to see him leave, there's got to be some bad things happen. Are you ready? Are you willing to make that sacrifice for this team to see Howie going? Are you at that point yet?
No.
I'm not. I admit I'm not there yet.
Listen, I
No,
told you I love the
I
Eagles.
Howie's not going anywhere. So I've already
Yeah.
gotten over that. Clearly he has tapes on Lori. I don't know. I don't know why he to stay here. I mean, nationally they're calling for Howie's head. The Eagles fans around the country. So we'll let people keep screaming for Howie to go. But we need a good draft in the worst way. We need good off-season acquisitions in a worse way. We need some O linemen. We need those D backs. There, if we could at least get those two areas secure,
Mm-hmm.
I think we could at least make it through next season and hold our heads up.
Michelle, I'm gonna tell you one thing. If Howie drafts Pitts, the tight end from Florida, in the first at number 6, he's getting fired. You could
What
trade
he
back.
shouldn't.
What if he gets Smith?
You know
If
what?
he gets Smith, then he got the wrong one because he should get Chase.
I
All
like
right.
Chase. I like both of them now. Yes, Michelle,
Chase
I've
a
been looking at a
grown
lot
man.
of tape. Chase has the after catch ability. So does. Don't get me wrong. Smith. I love Smith. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
No,
you can't.
you
You can't
can't.
go.
I don't know. I'm looking at. I like Devontae Smith, but he don't have a pro body for me.
He has the Marvin
He
Harrison
reminds
body.
me of
Marvin
what's his
Harrison.
name?
I need a
Little-
pro body.
He
I need a pro
he
body.
he is Marvin Harrison reincarnated.
looks
Like
a
if you had
Tyro.
my question to you right now, you had a choice between Antoine Bolton, right? Antoine Bolton and Marvin Harrison. Who would you pick?
Marvin Harrison. He was just smoother.
Marvin Harrison was smoother, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
that's what he
smooth.
has. He has that. He runs the same routes. He has that same ability. But
Yeah, I agree with
Jamar
Isaac.
Chase is Antoine
If
Bolton.
Chase and Smith are gone, get a damn DB.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. If both of them are gone, give me a DB. I need a playmaker.
I
I
don't
need
want
a
Patrick
playmaker. I
Surtain.
don't care what side of the ball he's on. If he's on the offensive side, catch the ball. If he's on the defensive side in the secondary,
I take
catch
Parsons.
the ball. Catch the
You
ball.
taking a linebacker.
We're like the 10th quarter.
Yeah, I know.
Does this
All
mean we're
right.
off next week?
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. All right, we're going to get out of here, though. We're going to be waiting, just like all of you guys, for that news that comes that Carson Wentz has been traded, and hopefully we get something back for him because I don't think nothing's done unless there's a big splash. I don't think Howie will allow anything to be done unless there's a type of big splash. Third round pick for Carson, not a big splash. I don't think you'll see something like that. I think they're still going to hold out for the first round pick. Whether they get it or not is something to be seen. We'll see. But we just have to sit on our hands and wait for Howie. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I love
we
this statement.
thank you guys, man.
Before you
We love
close
you
out,
guys.
this last statement right here is hilarious. You got to close the show with this one. Howie pretty much got to draft the offensive rookie of the year and a defensive rookie of the year for me to even consider him a human being.
All right, and we're going to close with that, man. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Eagles Talk. We'll be back next week at 7 o'clock, unless something happens before then, like Carson Wentz gets traded for 2 number ones or something like that. Then you will see us a little earlier. We will definitely be on the news of Carson Wentz if he is moved before next Thursday. So stay tuned for that. But if nothing happens, we'll be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. right here. Same bat channel, same bat time. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. For the Sandlin boy, Patrick, and the Shell, we will see you guys next week. We're out. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback, crack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, hit him, hit him.